All right, today we're going to discuss the growth of political parties briefly, and then next class we will work with the original political parties of the United States. All right, we have political parties today because of conflicts between leaders during the early 1790s. However, these parties back then are not the same parties that we have today as far as today's Republicans and today's Democrats are concerned. Completely different entities. All right, your political parties grow out of two different viewpoints from two men, Alexander Hamilton, who was the Secretary of the Treasury, and Thomas Jefferson, who at the time was Secretary of State. So your two parties are going to emerge behind these two individuals. Hamilton's followers were particularly wealthy merchants, bankers. They're going to form what's known as the Federalist Party. So think of them as the money party right now. Okay, Jefferson's followers are mainly going to be farmers, laborers, debtors, those types of people. And they're going to form the Democratic Republican Party. So they're more of your working party, so to speak. All right, they disagree on the role of the government by and large. So your Federalist Party would prefer a strong central government. Okay, keep in mind, they are your wealthy bankers, your wealthy merchants. Okay, your Democratic Republicans, who are some of your smaller time people, farmers, laborers, etc., want a weak central government. They want states to have more power. They're all about states having their rights. They also differ on something very serious, and that's the interpretation of the Constitution, what it is that the Constitution actually lays out for the government to do. So your Federalist Party, with Hamilton, think that the government can't do anything that's not forbidden. So they believe in loose construction, a loose interpretation of the Constitution. That, oh, well, it doesn't say I can't do it, so then I can do it, right? So they use what's known as the elastic clause. It says that you can do anything that is necessary and proper to carry out the listed powers of the Constitution. Okay, so your Federalists, think of a rubber band. It's a little stretchy, a little loose. Now, your Democratic Republicans have a completely different interpretation. They believe that the government only has the powers that are listed in the Constitution. So they believe in strict construction. If it doesn't say it, you cannot do it. Okay? The 10th Amendment says that the unlisted powers belong to the states and individuals. So the national government can't do something that's not listed there because those are their only powers, those that are listed. Anything that is unlisted, according to the 10th Amendment to Democratic Republicans, is powers that belong to the states and the people. Economic policy, obviously, they're going to differ because your Federalists come from the wealthy banking and merchant side of the world. So they encourage trade and manufacturing. They favor a national bank so that the money is strong so that they can trade with other people outside of our country, have more international trade. Your Democratic Republicans, again, small time, so they support farmers, plantation owners. They are against a national bank. They want things to be a little more on the smaller scale. Your foreign policy for your Federalists is that they're going to favor the British in order to protect their trade. They oppose what's going on in France because France, a little inspired by the Americans, have their own little revolution going on over there. And they fear control by a mob. They think that the French Revolution is too violent and out of control. You see the image of the guillotine. They were literally chopping people's heads off in the French Revolution. Okay? So your Federalists are like, no, we don't really want any part of that. For foreign policy with your Democratic Republicans, again, led by Jefferson, they favor the French Revolution. The French were our allies in the American Revolution. This revolution is promoting liberty. That's what it's about. And they don't trust the British still. Okay? They're still like, hold on. You people have very, very limited memory going on. You Federalists over there. Remember, we just fought a revolution against these people. Why are you in favor of them? So they're all about the French. Like, the French helped us. They're fighting a revolution for liberty too. We're all about those things. All right, and then finally, when it comes to immigration and free speech, your Federalists are going to support the Alien Act, which we'll discuss in a little bit, which makes it take longer for people to become a citizen. And they create the Sedition Act in order to silence criticism from the Democratic Republican Party, which is going to bring into some question whether or not that is violating the First Amendment, right of freedom of speech, press, and all those types of things. All right, and then finally, your Democratic Republicans, in regards to immigration and free speech, they support immigrants. Okay, many of those immigrants were farmers, and remember that this is a party full of farmers and laborers. They are against the Alien and Sedition Acts, obviously, because they support immigration, and they create what become known as the Kentucky and Virginia resolutions, saying that states have the right to nullify or cancel a law that they believe is unconstitutional. So if we don't agree with it, then yeah, we're just going to cancel that. All right? So those are your political parties and the growth of them, how they are founded in the United States of America. Keep these things in mind. Go back through as much as you need to. Pause so you can write these things down, and take your time with it. And we will discuss the Federalists and Democratic Republicans in your next class.